the great American sprinter Maurice Greene retired from the sport just about a week and a half ago. And Larry Rawson, one of the great sprinters certainly in history, and a long career for a sprinter when you look at it.
He certainly did, Dwight, and I think that's one of the reasons why he's considered as good as he was. He has 6 of the 7 fastest 60-meter dashes ever run in history, and the world indoor record he set in 1998, 10 years later, still stands. In the 100 meters outdoors, the world record holder from 1999 to 2005, a period of 6 long years that he was the world record holder. And his world-class career as a top 10 sprinter in the world lasted for a total of 8 years, 4 of which he was ranked #1 in the world.
1999, 3 gold medals in the World Championships in Seville. Of course, the Olympic champion at 100 meters in Sydney, anchoring the 4x100 meter relay gold medal. You can see many of his accolades there, but I think that the longevity, of course, is a phenomenal accomplishment for Maurice Greene. But what I will remember about Maurice Greene is not so much how hard he had to have worked on the track. That's a given, to have been one of the greatest sprinters in American history, but also how hard he worked off the track and trying to hone his skills, his communication skills. He came into the sport not really being glib, speaking not being natural to him, and he really worked hard at becoming a good interviewer, a good interviewee, and a great representative for track and field. The star that he was, and in the sprints, he needed to be the star. He really represented the sport well.
He did. And to touch on what you're saying, Dwight, he came out of Kansas City and he didn't have a Division I scholarship. He wasn't at a major program. He didn't have the opportunities you talk of. Coach John Smith, who he worked with for so many years, I think helped him in many ways on the track and off as well.
You know, it's hard to rank sprinters, but where would you put him in history?
Well, in thinking it over, you know, you have to go amateur and pro, and some of the amateur guys a long time ago had only careers that dominated for a couple of years, but I think he is behind Carl Lewis among the top pros and certainly ranks among the top 5 sprinters in American history of all time.
And for more reflections on Maurice Greene from a man who knew him pretty well, let's go down to Lewis Johnson.
Well, Dwight, you and Larry have talked about everything that Maurice Greene accomplished in his career, but if there's one thing you can remember about him, I think it's this story, and it goes back to the 1996 Olympics, where Maurice Greene literally sat in the stands and cried because he couldn't compete. He had suffered an injury at the trials leading up to those games and was out. And so he went back to Kansas City, put everything he owned into his vehicle, and drove across the country to Los Angeles and showed up to John Smith, the great sprint coach, and said, hey, I want to be the best. By 1997, he had earned his first world championship. By 99, he was a world record holder in the 100 meters. And, of course, in 2000, he won the gold in the Olympics. So Maurice Greene took the tears of that sad moment in Atlanta and took that dream across the country and made it come true. So I remember Maurice Greene for a guy having a dream and making it happen, cashing in all his chips. A great story I think that anybody in America can relate to.